if indeed Anthony Joshua gets in the ring with YouTuber Jake Paul, and that's what he is, YouTuber Jake Paul, would you watch it? Simon, before we take some calls, with this seemingly in the pipeline, can we safely say goodbye to Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury?
Well, I think it's done anyway, judging by the mood music that seems to be coming out from various camps. If you listen to Tyson Fury, he seems to be, despite the fact we've danced this dance before and walked this walk before, he seems to be talking in a very different way. There's no hyperbole. It's, I'm done. This is a younger man's game. I've done my bit. I'm at peace with where I am in life. I don't need boxing anymore. But not in the flash for cash way that Tyson often does it. In a more earnest way is my understanding of his sort of thought processes. So with that in mind, it almost feels that that's off the table anyway. Who knows? The draw of the enormous amounts of money that this one fight can generate. This is the one fight that can really get everybody paid. I mean, the two protagonists. Whatever Usyk takes, tragically for him, he wouldn't even get anywhere near as much money as potentially being offered for the Fury-Joshua fight.
What would earn AJ more of a pay packet, fighting Fury or fighting Jake Paul?
Well, I would think tragically fighting Jake Paul.
God, what is that?
Because the revenues, because it's a Gen Z TikTok generation that wants to watch sport in a certain way.
Yeah,
and that's nothing critical of them. It's just the way that it is. And that's the circumstances of social media and the platforms that people like Jake Paul are able to cross over. It's not a case of people in the mainstream should be dinosaurs. The digital world and those opportunities and those platforms are marvelous places. And you know, you heard me talking about Mark Goldbridge the other day and the commercial deal that he did with the Bundesliga. And we can be sniffy about their level of content, or we can accept that there is a place for everybody. It's interesting that still the digital world and that sort of space, which is the YouTube platform, still want mainstream credibility. But as far as numbers are concerned, they're dwarfing. The numbers that get on mainstream media are being dwarfed by the social media guys.
Yeah, I wonder how long that'll go on for, you know, because people will see through it eventually.
It'll go on and on and on and
people
on.
will see through it eventually.
No, it won't.
You know,
the content level...
Quality beats quantity, believe me.
Podcasting is the new form of broadcasting.
Oh, yeah.
It is now. People are not going to go for linear broadcasters unless it's really, really good.
Yeah.
If you're really, really good, mainstream should always top certain aspects of other aspects. But you have to be really, really good. And we still live in a world where mainstream operates with a lot of blandness and a lot of vanilla.
True. I'm with you on that. So if it comes to it, next month, if AJ gets into a ring with Jake Paul, YouTuber Jake Paul, will you watch it? Are you having it? Is this where it's got to? And as I said in the introduction, Joshua Jake Paul, does it tell us more about the falling star of AJ or the rising one of Jake Paul? Kelvin is a Tottenham Hotspur fan, but no doubt a boxing fan. Kelvin, good morning. You're first up. What's your take on this?
Morning, guys. Thanks for having me on. Great show.
Thanks, Kelvin.
Will I watch it? 100% no. I personally think it is just a pathetic, ridiculous exhibition designed to make two people a lot of money. In my opinion, you might as well put Kylie Minogue in with Nicola Adams at her prime. You know, I just find it staggering that this fight is going to get the go-ahead because sadly, and I don't have an opinion at all, I've not really seen much of him. Sadly, there is a chance that he's going to get very seriously hurt if he steps in the ring with Joshua.
Well, that's a fair point. You might be missing out if Kylie gets in the ring because she's been working hard in the gym, as far as I hear. But here's the thing: did you watch AJ and Ngannou, or Fury and Ngannou? No. Did you watch that, Kelvin? No. So,
and I'm a big boxing fan, and I refuse to. Same as I've not watched, or I didn't watch the first Ben Eubank Jr. fight, and I won't be watching it on Saturday night because it's just about making money and risking people's lives.
Fair enough. Some good points in there. What were these fights, Simon? When we saw the Ngannou thing,
well, I have to say,
was that crossover or were they genuine?
Yeah, well, it was crossover, but it was also, and I ridiculed it, and Frank would get quite irate about it and say, watch this space, and he was right, because it was the gatekeeper, wasn't it? It opened the door. The fight with Ngannou opened the door for everyone else to come running through and feed off the Saudi teat for a long period of time. And it got some great fights being made because that relationship was cemented by that particular fight and the numbers that it did. And of course, you know, Tyson did the boxing sport no great service by putting up an abject performance that gave everybody a sort of feeling about what the hell's happening here. And then, quite frankly, Anthony Joshua did everybody a favour by coming and cleaning out Ngannou, and we moved on with the conversation because it was all becoming about, does UFC better than boxing, and these boxers are not what they thought they are, and have we really got real world champions? And Anthony went in and cleaned him out.
Yeah.
And that's what Tyson Fury should have done. But there is a difference between Ngannou, who is a world-level combat fighter, and Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Now, the disciplines...
Ngannou was no boxer.
But he's a world-level combat fighter. So there's a translation that ultimately he's got more about him in that space. Now, of course, the skill sets are different, but he can punch and he can take punches because he's a world-level athlete.
But it wasn't two boxers.
The only thing that Jake Paul's got is probably world-level athlete's foot.
Yeah, but it wasn't Ngannou nonetheless against AJ or Fury. It wasn't boxer versus boxer.
It's not ideal. No, it's not ideal, but it has more sporting integrity in terms of the level of competitor. At the time, I was very much against it. I still think it's a mismatch, but I didn't think it was as much of a mismatch as what this is with Jake, if indeed it ever gets signed. Because we're in the space of talks. Talks is a long way from fight, you know. And of course, what happens with talks is lots of people get their ugly mugs in front of the camera, including Mr. Hearn this afternoon. And ultimately, Anthony Joshua gets talked about again. Jake Paul's whole existence.
Yeah.
Why would he do anything if it wasn't involving him having his face on YouTube?
So, Chris, Liverpool and boxing fan, are you buying into it if it happens? AJ versus Paul?
How are we doing, boys? We good today?
Good, mate. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. What do you make of this?
I think that if this fight goes ahead, it's going to be the biggest mockery in boxing. It's like Simon said earlier, you know, Ngannou is a UFC athlete. He's been trained to do this from when he was young.
Yeah.
Jake Paul is the only athlete he's got is like Simon said, he's got athlete's foot. That's it. You know, and that, Simon's the best thing you've said in a while. That got me, that did. I like it.
I'll vouch for that. I'll vouch for that, Chris. Here's the thing: you're going to watch Eubank Junior Ben 2 on Saturday night. Come on, Chris, be honest.
If I'm honest with you, probably not.
That's two.
Why?
That's 2 for 2.
I mean, 2 for 2.
Why, mate?
Why? It just Eubank's so much bigger than Ben. The first fight, yes, you could say it was tight, it was this, it was that, but it didn't get me on the edge of my seat, if you know what I mean.
God, I was there, Chris. I was on the edge of mine, mate. Honestly, it's split opinion.
The last few rounds, yes, maybe, but
yeah, sorry, Chris.
It's all right, mate, no problem. But the last few rounds, yeah, it got a bit tasty. But other than that, it was just two geezers walking around shouting at each other.
Yeah. Chris, fair enough. Some good points in there.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.